Welcome developers to IVMS, your number one channel to learn how to grow to become a web developer. So today we'll be building this awesome 3J animation using Three.js inside our application React. So I'll be showing it in the best simple way. Remember, this is just a beginner project, anyone can do it. So please watch this channel up to the end. Remember, don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. I'm going to drag this folder called D portfolio right into the Visual Studio Code. We say new terminal. I want to make sure that my folder is empty by just typing list. Then today I'm not going to use create ready app. I'm going to use Vite. So for Vite, I'm going to say npm create Vite its latest. Then I'm going to say period right inside this directory dash template react, then press enter. Done. So you see, it was very simple to install it. Yes, once you have done installing React using Vite, we are going to be asked by the terminal to npm install and npm run. So one of the dependencies that we are going to install is Tailwind CSS. So visit their website there at Tailwind CSS doc section, and let's have this code that we are going to copy it and come inside your Visual Studio terminal, and make sure just type list first to make sure that you are inside the right directory. Yes, then type, then paste your Tailwind CSS coding, then press enter. They can see the Tailwind config file has been created. This is the folder that this file that we want. So let me erase my file there. So let's type clear. So now I'm going to add some additional dependencies that we will need for the whole project. So I'm just going to type them out. So I'm going to install these dependencies. Like I say, React 3 Fiber, React 3 Dray Math, React Tilt, React Vertical Timeline, Email.js, Framer Motion, and React Router DOM. So install all these dependencies. Now I've successfully installed all the dependencies that we need. As you can see, the 107 packages have been installed. Now there are some files which I want to delete and upload some to make our coding easy, which I've prepared for you. So what we're going to do, firstly, we are going to delete this public folder. Yes. Then after deleting it, we are going to get a file that which I've linked up inside my description. Just download that public file and paste it inside here. Now come inside and paste that public file, paste it there. Now after doing that one, I also need to take the src. Inside the src, I'm going to delete this assets folder. So src, delete the assets folder, the present assets folder, and then paste the new one. Now we've got the assets folder. Inside this src, I'm going to add the components folder. Now let me come inside my Visual Studio Code, and we see the progress that we have made. Let's check it. If you look at the assets folder, I've got this PC desktop file, and also I've added this planet file. Then if you minimize, let's go into the source. We have got added this assets folder with some images, and we also have added this components folder. Don't worry about you can see that there are quite some number of components, but yes, we are going to use all of them, but in this case we are just going to need the hero and the nav path. That's what we are going to use today. So the next step is we now need to delete this app CSS file. We don't need it. Then let's come inside our JS file. So inside the JS file, I'm going to delete everything. App.js, delete everything. Then I'm also going to delete these files. I'm going to set up a constant. Then this one. We are going to delete everything that is here. Yes, now we've got all that we need. A constant app, okay, closing tag, yeah, like this one. Okay, an expression is expected here. That's a semicolon to close up everything. Now let me create a div inside. Let me create a div which I shall call portfolio. Like this. So now there are some fields that I want to make some amendments to. Firstly, I'm going to go inside the index CSS, then make sure that you delete everything that is here. And I've linked inside the description. You're going to follow up. There are some files that which I have pasted for you, the resources which I want you to just copy and paste. So just copy and paste the index CSS file. There you can see inside, this is an index CSS file that you see at the top. There is a link to the font, then to the font that we are importing from Google Fonts. Then we also have got some Tailwind component base and utilities. Then also you can see that we have got some styling that I've done, which I've done for you ahead of time. Then there are some box shadows there that we'll be using as well. Then after doing that, we're going to go inside the folder and create a file called style CSS. Inside the src, create a file called styles.js. Then I'm going to paste the code here inside. So this is the file. This is what we are going to have. Okay, so we are going to have the num, the padding y, padding x, hero text, hero subtext, everything. These are the styles that we are going to be having. So after doing that one, let's go inside our index, our Tailwind config file, delete everything, and paste this code. This is what we are going to be having for our index, the Tailwind config.js file. Then now let's come inside our src file and we create a new folder called utils, like this. Then inside the utils, we are going to add a file called motion.js. So I'm going to paste some code here. So this is the code that you are going to find. Again, you find this code inside the description. I'll paste the link to the resources where you can find this code that we have got here. So after dialing that one, we're going to go inside our C source folder. We're going to add another folder called constants. Inside the constants folder, let's have a file called index.js. Then inside the index.js file, I'm going to add some source code. So inside that GitHub, just go and get this file called index.js. There you can have, we are going to have the export services, technologies, experience, testimonial content that we shall be pasting, that we shall be copying direct to link to our home page. So this is the file that I want. So this was it for importing. Believe me, we have all copied everything that we need. Now you can minimize some files to make your code look smarter, and just close all these files. Remember to save everything. I will want to close all of them. Now I want to run the our depository. So I'm going to say, so we are going to be running our application on localhost 5173. There you can see we have successfully run our application on a mouse, and I've now set up so that I can see what's going on the same browser. And then I've got my code editor by my side. Now what I'm going to do, inside this app, I'm going to make some changes. First of all, I'm going to import a router. Okay, let me collapse this one, yeah, like this. So I'm going to import our router. Then after importing browser router from React root DOM, we are now going to import all the components that we had. Using this shorthand, import, about, contact, experience, feedback, hero, navbar, check, works, and star canvas from this file / components. I've imported all the components that I need. Now nextly we're going to start styling our file inside this one. Let me delete. Okay, yes, it will save up an error, so I now need to we're going to start off by having a browse router. Then inside the browse router, I'm going to have another div. Let's give our div name a class name. Relative, and we give it a 0 to the 0, and a background of primary. Then inside I'm going to have a div which I need to give it a class name. I'm going to set it to we are going to give it a background of hero pattern, background of cover, background no repeat, and the background of center. So below inside I'm going to add the two components that I want. So there we have got the navbar, which is very important for our style from our project. Let me bring this one down. There we have added the navbar as well as the hero. These are the major components that we want. Outside that, I'm just going to add some extras which I don't want, but I will have them to feature for future coding. There you can see I've added some extra components like about, experience, check, works, feedbacks, and also I've added another component called contact, and then the star canvas is for those magnificent stars that we can add on to. Then so as you can see, these are the changes that will come out on our browser. There you can see the corresponding navbar, hero bar, about, check, works, feedbacks, contact, and stars. So now let's dive into our our nav component. Inside the components, we're going to have to go to the nav. So let me collapse this one. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off by importing some critical elements. I'm going to start off by importing the use state. So I'm going to start off by importing the React root React use state using React. Then after that one, I'm going to import the link from React router DOM. Then I'm going to import the styles from styles CSS styles file. Then I'm also going to import the nav links from -- constants. Then I'm also going to import our images, logo, menu, close from assets folder. So these are the critical means. So I'm going to use logo.com. If you don't know how to create a if you want to create a logo for yourself, you can just enter, let's say our YouTube channel is called Ivan Mesa. So this would type in and do everything. So I'm just going to pause the video so that I can just simply come in and show you the final end product of the logo. Okay, Jeff, I know that we have installed Tailwind CSS inside our file, but I want to show you something that is very important, which I did ahead of time before. So if you are failing, if your Tailwind is not responding after typing in Tailwind, then it's not responding, then I urge you to consider using these resources from FreeCodeCamp. Yes, this is a tutorial that was published on 9 January 2020, so it's the latest how to set up Tailwind CSS inside your with the fit in a project. Just follow the code, just follow the instructions, what you are being instructed to do, so that your Tailwind is now being applied and working correctly inside your Vite project. So just follow this tutorial I urge you. So now inside my VS Code, I'm going to continue coding. The next step that we are going to do. So now we're going to create some for the nav. I'm going to replace the div with nav and image. This is just for boilerplating. This is just IH. So let me show you how the design looks like now inside my browser. Yeah, that is how it looks like. So I just need to continue coding. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert for the nav. I'm going to give it a class name with a $sign referencing the styles.padding_x. So if you go inside your styles file, you are going to find the values for the styles.js. So you're going to find this is what padding x means. It means that on a small screen the padding along the x is x, and then the padding normal is padding y. So now I need to go back inside my, and we continue, and I'm going to give it a width of full. Then I'm going to set flexi item center padding along the y-axis to 5 and fixed and top 0. Then let's add a z-index of 20 and a background of primary. So now after doing this, I've just deleted the image, and let me come and look at create another small new div with a width of full. Then inside the div I'm going to add a flexi, and then I'm just going to justify between. Then I'm going to align items to the center, maximum of x, then maximum x and 7x, make it larger, then margin auto along the x-axis of auto. We're going to create some links, and then I'm going to give some coding, some class properties to the width. Let's say to from, that is to say is from coming from the top, yeah, like this. Then let's give it a class name of flexi item center gapping of 2. Then on click I'll set it to active. Then that means if I use set active, that means I now have to use a constant of active to the top, this like this one. Then let's have a window scroll to the top of 0 like to the top. Then I'm going to insert the image with the image inside this image. Our image is called logo, so with the alt text of logo in case it fails to load. Then let's close the brackets, and then I'm going to give it some class properties of width 9, height 9, and object contain. So, and then after styling that, I'm going to add let me come and check how it now looks like. There you can see the image. You've got this image with the height of 9 and small, with object contain. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to set a paragraph with the text white and the text with size of 18, font bold, cursor pointer, and flexi direction. And then I'm also going to have a span with on small medium is this, or small screen is displayed to block, then on large screens is hidden by default. Then okay, leave it at 18. Like this. Let me come inside my browser and check. There you can see I've got my name written, Ivan Mesa, on small screen. This is the progress that we have made. Now I'm going to come inside my browser and I'm going to create in another listing. This is the listing. Let's list to none, remove, set to hidden, in small screens flexi, and otherwise on large screens flexi raw. And then let's have a gap of 10. And let's come inside. I'm going to create a nav link that will map up that will use a map to nav. Then I'm going to create a listings. Then on the listings, we'll create some spacing. Then on the listings, I'm going to add a hyperlink with a hash, then with the nav ID that will inside brackets, nav view that will direct us to the nav title. Let me come and take a look. There you can see the nav links have been collected using the link to the nav title. Inside our coding, we have referred to the nav title. If you go down to the file index.js, then you can find the nav links that we have got here, and then the title. This is the title that will be referring. So we have got about, work, and contact, the same corresponding to our contacts inside the heading. So now let me come inside my nav.js file. I'm going to give it in to the listings. I'm going to set an ID, a key of nav.id. Then I'm going to give it a class name. Inside the class name, I'm going to set some properties for if the nav, if it's active on the nav title, that is the link that we have been referring to. These headings about work and contact, if they are active, we give a text color of white and then a text color of secondary. Then what happens is that on hover, the text color is white, the font size, font size is 18 pixel, then font medium and the cursor pointer. Let me come and check. There you can see on hover is white, and the font, the size of the font is enlarged with the cursor pointer. Then on click, let's give it a set active. On click, we set the active to nav title link. If I come inside my browser, there you can see we have got an about set there. That is how you set on click. Work, it changes. Contact, it also changes. Now that we are done with this stage, now I'm going to go on to the stage of the hero section. So inside my browser, come into the hero, go to the component section, then go to the hero component. Then this is where we are going to make some of our coding. So now I'm going to start off by adding some framer motion and styles component and the import canvas, and that's that I've been imported all these styles and canvas from the canvas. This is the canvas that we are importing. So now after doing that one, come inside. Now we're going on to the return this div component. So for the div hero section, I'm going to replace with the divs with a section. Then I'll give it a class name of relative width full height screen maximum along the margin along the x-axis to auto. Then let's close this section. Now you can come in and take a look at the progress that it made. You see automatically it changes, it creates some space to paste our image and the content. Now come inside, we are going to do for the hero section, I'm going to convert it to for the hero text. Let's create a div inside the section. There's a div which I shall give a class name of styling with padding x inside from the file styles.js. Then give it a percent of absolute insert 0 top 120 pixels and margin maximum width of 7 times x, then margin auto. Then let's give it a flexi row item start and gap of 5. Then let's create another div inside. I'm going to give the div class name of flexi column justify center item center and margin center margin top 5. Then let's create another new closing div inside, two closing divs inside, and then let me give them a class names of two class names of width, or the top closing div is width 5, height 5, rounded full and background color. Then for the second one of width 1 on small screens of height of 8 and height of 40 valid gradient. Then so here I've created another new div which I shall be with the headings and fonts and paragraph. For the H1 text I'm going to have this is just small text. Then inside the span I'm going to have yellow. Then inside the paragraph I'm going to say I create online. Then inside with the break of user interface in 3D. So if I come in before I style this thing, I want to check, okay, they're not yet visible, so we need to style them. Let me give them a class name. Okay, yeah, let me put in some class name. Yeah, then I beautify it by just spacing my coding. Yes, like this. Then for the heading I'm giving it a styles of hero head tag and the text color of white. Then for the span I'm giving it a color of purple like. Then for the paragraphs I'm giving it of a styles of hero text and margin of top color of text color of 100. Let me come and check. Yes, they can see it's now visible. They can see the text is now visible. There is the text, there's the text, there's the text. You can see there's the text. Then we come in and we paste a computer canvas. This shall be for our image. So let me come and check the progress. There you can see I've created a div with this arrow like and some text that is here. Then you can also see that we have imported a canvas component that is here. If I come in my browser, you can see that this div is there, so I need to put it right below. So I need to come inside my coding and we put it like one more div below. Yeah, like this. Then let's paste it and we save and come and check the progress. There you can see it's now. So I've moved on to the computer component that we're talking about from the computer canvas, this one. So this is where we are. So this is where we are going to start off with our coding. Inside the computers I'm going to import a basic things that we want for our coding. So you can see I imported React suspense user effect use state from canvas. Then I've also imported canvas from React 3 fiber. I've also imported orbit controls. This is the most important that we shall be using. Preload and use GTA from Three.js. Then I'm also importing canvas loader from loader. So now I'm going to go inside the div. We're going inside the const computers. That's when we are going to say out put in some, import the image that we want. That's const computers from use gtf.desktop.scene. If you go inside the public folder, and you can see this is where we are going to get our scene.gtf. This is the image that we're importing. So now once we're done with this one, let's come inside our computers. With this computer, we're not going to start off the computer, but for the insert AM, we come inside our browser and you check, but you can't see anything that is visible. That means I need to continue coding it in intensity of 0.5 and the background color of black. So if I come inside the browser, you can check that it's still not visible. That means color of 1. Then let's have a spotlight position of -20 along the x-axis, 50 y-axis, then 10 0-axis. Then let's have an angle of 0.2 penumbra of 1. Then intensity of the light at 1. Then if you come inside, we're going to have a point light of intensity 1. Then let's have an object of computer scene. Then let's have a scale of the image to 0.5 on desktop, then 0.75 on mobile. Then let's have a rotation of 0.2. So after doing that, you just need to you need to add a computer canvas function, which by these ones are just mobile view. Then the most important one is you have to import a frame of demand, then shadows, then the preview 1.2, then camera position is 20 along the x-axis, 3 along the y-axis, then 5 along the z-axis. Then field on view, it will be 25, which I found very useful. Then GL, let's preserve drawing to buffer true. What you can now do is we can now add the suspense on the canvas loader with orbit control, enable zoom set to false. Then max angle, let's set the max math.p divided by 2 for, as well as for mean angle, just have the same formula, math.pi divided by 2. Then let's have a computers is mobile and also a suspense. Then remember not to add a preloader and a canvas. So if I come inside my browser, you can see that it goes black. It's because we have set a preloader that we need to come inside the loader file, which is located here, and let's set a coding for the preloader. This is the canvas loader. Like, remember we have code upon the canvas loader here. So we are going to come inside our canvas loader, import the HTML use progress. Then let's have a canvas loader with an HTML and a span and a paragraph tag. So the progress will be fixed to 100%. So if you do this and you have this code for the HTML, I'm going to set it as a div, which I'm going to center and display flexi. Just try content center, align item to the center with the flexi direction. This is like centering this whole loader at the center of the page. Then we are going to have the content that will be like a loading from 0 to 100%. Will be having a font size of 14, then color code of F1, then font weight 800, then margin from the top 40. So if I come inside my browser, there you can see it's now appearing because we have set up a preloader. So now I'm just going to reload the page. Then you can see after reaching 100%, it reloads the image. Then you can now see that you can now move the image like backwards. And so this is how we use Three.js to view. So if I do this and I come in and we view it on a small screen, there you can see. There you can see is going correctly, just like as we have wanted all over the solution. So I'm going to show you something that is very awesome. I want to comment out our lightning properties. Let me start off by commenting out all of them: hemisphere, spotlight, and point light. If I do this, then I comment it out, there you can see we have commented out. You can see the darkness that is inside. So I'm just going to show you how am I going to do it. Let's say by default, let's then convert everything to 1, and let's set this one to 1. So if I comment it out like this, you can see how you can see the light intensity that is there. So let us increase the hemisphere. Let's set it to 1 instead of 0.15. Let's give it 1. They can see the hemisphere has changed everything. And let's set our point view to 10. They can see it's much more viewable. So for example, if you remove the position on the spotlight, you can see it doesn't change much. So let me paste it back. Okay, there it is. So we have completed this work that we are doing. Thank you for watching.